Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Stock Durbar with Team William in India. I will be starting within a minute till participants are joining. I hope my voice is clear and you can see the disclaimer slide. So please go through the disclaimer. Okay, let's begin the session. We have gone through the disclaimer. As always, let's begin with the Nifty 50 setup. As you can see, yesterday was a very tough day for the market, especially for the broader market. But I think Nifty was not that huge selling pressure was not in the Nifty. But yesterday we added a distribution day. So if someone in the audience not aware about the distribution day, then we use the day that is the distribution day to track the weakness in the market. Whenever the market is in confirm uptrend trending near the highs, then the distribution day is used to identify the tops, that is 0.2% fall on Nifty on volume higher than previous session. सिर्फ दो कंडीशन रहती है और जब भी ऐसे डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन डे बढ़ जाते हैं मार्केट में 3 4 एंड निफ्टी ब्रीचेस इट्स की मूविंग एवरेजेस, that is the time you need to be really careful in the market. So yesterday we breached the 21 DMA. So the green line over here is the 21 DMA. If you can see over here, annotation. The red over here is the 50 DMA and the black one is the 200 DMA. So you can see over here, yesterday we breached 21 DMA and closed below it, but there was a good support at 50 DMA. Today also in the morning, I think yesterday's low and 50 DMA both acted as a very good support. And from there, we saw some reversal in the Nifty. But broadly, if you see over here, the levels, we are still just below 21 DMA. आज का closing 21 के ऊपर नहीं आया, though intraday it did move above its 21 DMA. High is about 22 200 के ऊपर high बनाया और 21 DMA के ऊपर एक बार इंट्राडे निफ्टी गया, but it didn't close above that level. On the flip side, the good part is we got a good support at the 50 DMA, and now that becomes very very crucial level. So 50 DMA is around 21,880. Okay, so 800 से 900 वाला zone है ना, 21,800, 21,800 to 21,900. That zone becomes very crucial technically for the Nifty to hold. Below that level, we might see some further selling at the index level. On the flip side, I think the first victory over here will be moving about or closing about 21 DML. We moved about 21, but we are not able to close about there. So once we close about 21 DMA, the next target will be somewhere around 22,500. 525 was the high all time. So once we move about the fresh high, then we can again say that okay, the trend has changed. Because see, if you draw the trend line over here, then we have cut below that trend line, which was here in the Nifty. Okay, so we want to close above 21 DMA now and then above the all-time high to again, break out of this trend line in the Nifty. Okay, so these are some of the key levels for the Nifty. You need to watch out. Yes, and the distribution day count is 3, but in fact, one will expire tomorrow because today is the 25th session for that one. So कल expire हो जाएगा. So the D-day count will be down to 2. So if we don't add a distribution day count tomorrow, तो count 2 हो जाएंगे. So then that is very comfortable. मार्केट में 2 डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन डे निफ्टी ट्रेडिंग अबाव की मूविंग एवरेज वो बहुत कंफर्टेबल रहेगा. अगर हम 21 रिक्लेम कर ले और डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन डे 2 होते हैं, then we are comfortable with that. So this was about the Nifty. But now if you go to the broader market, here the damage is more. So if you can see the mid cap index, So broadly, mid-cap index was trying to hold. It was, moving sideways. If you can see the annotation over here, वो 21 डीएम में जो ग्रीन लाइन है उसके अराउंड ऑसिलेट कर रहा था, कभी इधर कभी उधर जा रहा था on a weekly basis. But yesterday there was a sharp fall in the index. Even the volume was also higher. But then again, like see, last time in January it found support near 45 to 46 के बीच में support मिला था 2 बार. ठीक है. So वही level पे again it found support very close to those levels this time as well. 46 के 45 to 46 45 500 46 के बीच में इसको support मिला. And today's candle is not over here. It gets updated in the evening. So here there was a very sharp reversal. The index was up more than 2%, but yes, it is still below its 50-day moving average. But today's recovery was really good in the index, if you can see over here. So broadly now we are around 2% still below its 50 DMA. So for mid cap index, the most crucial level will be to move above 48,000. वो 50 डीएमए के ऊपर एक बार मिड कैप इंडेक्स आ जाता है, then that will be very safe zone for a further rally to start in the mid cap. Otherwise, we might see some consolidation below the 50 DMA level. And now I think this yesterday's low, आज का और कल का जो लो है दोनों का around 45 600, that becomes very important. So broadly मिड कैप इंडेक्स मिड कैप 100 में देखो तो 45 500 600 वाला वो जो जोन है वो क्रूशियल हो जाता है क्लोजिंग बेसिस पे होल्ड करना मिड कैप इंडेक्स के लिए. There was some good consolidation but it failed. But the story is a bit different if you see the small cap index. Here the selling was high. I think the selling that came in the first half of the February, we were not able to reclaim the fresh highs in the small cap. जब अभी निफ्टी में नया हाइस बनाया 22,500 तक निफ्टी गया था, 22,500 को क्रॉस किया था, उस टाइम मिड कैप इंडेक्स सॉरी द स्मॉल कैप इंडेक्स was not able to make a fresh high. And after this fall in the first half of the February, you see it found a support at 50 DMA. So 50 DMA पे एकदम clean support लिया था इसने और वहां से rebound हो गया था. Then again it was moving sideways similar to the mid cap index. वो 21 DMA के around flirt कर रहा था. But I think 3 4 sessions back only in the last week itself, this index breached its 50 DMA. And this इस week में तो बहुत गंदा fall देखने को मिला है इसमें. So the fall was really, really sharp as far as the small cap index is concerned. But one good thing about this is the volumes were not that high in small cap index. If you see the accumulation volume over here, जो जनवरी में accumulation हुआ उसमें एकदम हाई वॉल्यूम पे accumulation मिला था हमको, बट उतना वॉल्यूम पे अभी सेलिंग नहीं मिला. So here there is only thing is that the selling was not on a really high volume. So today's reversal also was good. So let's see if we can reverse sharply from here and again reclaim the key moving averages or not. So broadly अभी market में क्या पता है, you need to be very specific with the stocks that you are having in your portfolio. जो भी stocks अपनी key moving averages को like 21 and 50 DMA, if it is breaching those key moving averages on a higher volume, you should be very careful with that. But if the lines are getting breached or the averages are getting breached on a lower volume and you see that there are chance of the reversal, then you might continue to hold. Otherwise, booking some profit, you can trim few of your positions in profit. जो भी पोजीशन लॉस में है 7 8% से ज्यादा लॉस नहीं लेना चाहिए, क्योंकि एक बार करेक्शन चालू होता है तो वो लंबा चल जाता है. बिकॉज इफ यू सी यही फाइनेंशियल ईयर में, ठीक है, अप्रैल में अगर स्टार्ट करो तो ये इंडेक्स 8600 था, अब ये इंडेक्स अराउंड 14,000 है. ठीक है, तो अगर ये मान लो अपने 200 डीएमए तक को भी टेस्ट किया, देन यू माइट जो अभी का लॉस है वो बहुत लंबा लग जाएगा. 7 8% पे कट कर दो लॉस अकॉर्डिंग टू ओनिंग मेथोडोलॉजी. And if you are holding some stocks in the profit and you see that they are not able to rebound, they are not able to hold the key moving averages, resistance आ रहा है ऊपर जाने में, then that is a good time to book profit in those scripts. Because the stocks that are much extended from its key moving averages or which are below their key moving averages, there are high chances कि यहाँ पे ज्यादा मोमेंट आएगा. जो गिरते टाइम मोमेंटम आएगा वो वहां पे ज्यादा आएगा जो अपने 21 और 50 के ज्यादा ऊपर है, लाइक 5, 7, 10% above those moving averages, or those who have already breached the key moving averages. There the pressure might be a bit higher on the selling side, so you need to be careful with your positions. But if your particular stocks or the sector that you are holding that is able to hold its key moving averages and doing well, आज के सेशन में रिबाउंड भी अच्छा मार लिया, then that is fine. But booking some profit is always good in these kind of market, because when the market reverses, you will always get a good chance to invest in the fresh stocks. नया बेस पैटर्न बनेगा, नए ब्रेकआउट मिलेंगे, वहां पे आप अपना कैपिटल अलॉट कर सकते हैं, एंड दोज माइट गिव अ डिसेंट रिटर्न. ओके, सो यहाँ पे आज रिवर्सल अच्छा हुआ. द रिवर्सल वाज गुड इन द ब्रॉडर मार्केट, बट स्टिल नो they are trading around 12-15% below, especially mid cap index below its recent high, and one need to be very careful about this. If you look at the key sectors, the Nifty Bank, it has good support around its 21 DMA, but I think today the 21 DMA got breached. The next level of support is 50 DMA, and Bank Nifty is trying to hold that support at its 50 DMA. So it is almost 3.5%. If you consider today's candle is not here, but if you consider today's candle, this was the only sector बैंक निफ्टी के जो नेगेटिव में क्लोज हुआ, बाकी सारे इंडेक्स पॉजिटिव में क्लोज हुए थे आज. Broadly, if you look in banking, the selling pressure was much more in the PSU banks. अगर आप निफ्टी PSU बैंक का इंडेक्स देखो तो यहाँ पे, because the stocks were very much extended, this is what I was telling. The index, at the start of the March was extended almost 15% from its 50 DMA. अभी पूरा इंडेक्स 50 DMA से 15-17% extended था. So you might see some fall, even the smaller correction that might also hurt your capital a lot. But yeah, if you are holding the stocks from the much lower levels and your stocks are still holding some key moving averages, then there is no point to worry. Now, if we look at the FMCG index, so due to ITC, this was the only index yesterday to close in the positive. But here it found resistance to cross its 50 DMA. This index was is the underperformer of the last financial year, especially if you see after जुलाई में इसने हाई बनाया, उसके बाद कुछ मेजर मोमेंट नहीं किया. लुक एट द मिड कैप स्मॉल कैप निफ्टी का जो मोमेंटम था, ये उसको कैच नहीं कर पाया, स्पेशली इन दिस राउंड. In January, February, when Nifty was making new fresh highs, the FMCG index was going lower. I think most of the stock, जो रूरल डिमांड का प्रॉब्लम है, वो अभी भी मार्केट में दिख रहा है. मार्जिन पे थोड़ा प्रेशर बनता जा रहा है FMCG stocks पे. So that is the reason like these stocks are not able to move higher. But yesterday, due to after the deal, there was sharp momentum in ITC, and it closed 4 to 5% higher, and that's the reason why this index was positive yesterday in the relatively negative market. If you look at the Nifty IT, so IT is the top gainer of today. Yesterday it found a very good support. It's 50 DMA, और आज इसने काफी एक अच्छा upside reversal मारा, and it closed near its 21 DMA. So the upside reversal in IT was really good after finding support at its 50 DMA. So these are the sectors you need to watch out in the next phase of rally if it comes, because these are the sectors that rebounded quickly in the downtrending market, was able to hold its key moving averages when the markets were falling. So let's see if IT index can make a fresh high, and that helps Nifty, because IT is the second largest contributor in the Nifty. तो सबसे largest contribution है वो banking stock से आता है Nifty में, and IT is at number 2. So if the leading IT stocks performs well, then we might see some help for the Nifty as well, and Nifty can also move to a fresh high. Look at the metal stocks. Here the reversal was sharp today. Yesterday it was one of the top loser, more than 5%, almost 6% loss in the metal index was there yesterday. But today I think the reversal was also good, around 2.1% of gain in the metal index. But still it failed to recover its 50 DMA. So I think for metal index to recover the 50 DMA and then moving towards the fresh all-time high is crucial. See, yesterday इसमें गिरावट आई थी, but देखो volume काफी high है. If you can see yesterday's candle, the volume is relatively high when the index fell. So this is something crucial to note. ऐसे सेक्टर में थोड़ा ध्यान रखना चाहिए. कब तक? जब तक ये वापस अपना 50 डीएमए या 21 डीएमए हाई वॉल्यूम पे नहीं लेता या फिर फ्रेश हाई नहीं बनाता, यू शुड बी वेरी केयरफुल इन such index where the fall is on a relatively higher volume. Auto, one of the top winner of the last year. Here also it breached its 21 DMA. So today it did well around 1% gain, but again failed to reclaim its 21 DMA. But broadly, yesterday's fall was sharp. बाकी आज काफी recover किया है उसने, but still it is trading below 21 DMA and that needs to be reclaimed. So auto sector is trading almost three, like considering today is 4.5% above its 50 DMA. तो जब भी अगर फॉल आता है, मार्केट गिरता है, ये आगे अगर फिर से होल्ड नहीं कर पाता अपना लो, then these are the sectors that might test 50 DMA, because generally these type of stocks and sector do come to test its 50 DMA even if they are quality stock, growth stock. फिर भी एक टेक्निकल करेक्शन एक टाइम के बाद एक फेज ऐसा आता है क्योंकि एक्सेस जो मार्केट में होता है वो थोड़ा निकलता है and the stock or the index tests its key moving averages. So here, whenever the index or the stock is extended, you need to be careful. I think now we'll discuss few sectors, but as and when your question comes up to discuss some groups or sectors, we might do it while discussing the stocks. So let's open the floor for the Q&A session. In this room today, we have my colleague Vakar and Rajshekhar, and our head of research, Mr. Mayuresh Joshi, is also in the room. We will try to answer as many queries as possible. And one instruction that please do not post your queries multiple times, because as it is the live session, it becomes very tough to scroll it up and answer to your queries. So just paste it once. We'll try to answer as many as possible. The floor is open for you guys. The first question is on Tata Investment. See, this one is the news driven thing. Okay, so there was also a time like last, अगर एक दो week में देखे तो it was continuously hitting the upper circuits. Now it is hitting the lower circuits. So this one is the news based, and you should not trade based on news. But if you are already holding the stock, the loss is more than 7-8%, not advisable to hold. If you are holding since long and in good profit, then you might use 21 DMA, because ये 21 DMA पे इसको अच्छा support मिलता है. So 21 DMA can be used as support. So यहाँ पे वो जो टाटा सन्स के IPO वाला पूरा मीडिया में न्यूज घूम रहा था, उसकी वजह से काफी सारे टाटा रिलेटेड स्टॉक्स में मोमेंटम था, and Tata Investment being one of the leading one in that. Okay, crayons advertising. I think it's a very small company, 400 crore with no much interest from the fund holding, only 4 funds. So we are not covering this. The next question is Indocount Industries. Disclaimer over here that this is the part of our model portfolio. Okay, yeah, the stock found a good support. It is 50 DMA yesterday, so couple of time मार्च 6 को भी जब फॉल हुआ था तब भी ये 50 डीएमए को होल्ड किया था. अभी भी कल भी होल्ड किया, आज भी 50 डीएमए से अच्छा रिबाउंड हुआ, एंड इट आल्सो रिक्लेम्ड इट्स 21 डीएमए. So now it is, the stock is very close to its ideal buy zone. Okay, and we want that a stock sustains this gain, ideal buy zone में रहे, and it goes towards the fresh high. If you are holding the stock, then the 50 DMA becomes very important. जो आज का लो है 289.8 और 50 DMA भी 292. So these levels becomes very crucial. So if the stock breaches these levels on a relatively higher volume, it's good to cut losses or book profit.
Right, sir.
Otherwise,
I'll take two queries now.
sure.
Yeah, I'll start with GAIL and then Hindustan Copper. I think this stock has broken out, I think, 2, 3 months back, and from there has advanced currently 33% from the pivot, which is a very good sign. But in the last sessions, volatility, this stock has also taken a beating and it reached 50 DM as well. But as with most of the stocks, this stock has also reclaimed its 50 DM in the today's session. And so there is no major ideal buy point at this moment. So there is no fresh uh, investment to be done in this stock. It is looking very good on most of the parameters. EPS is at very good at 87, indicating a good fundamental character. RS rating is also very good at 73, and ABD rating is also good at A minus. So overall, both fundamentals and technicals are looking good. And if you are still holding it, I think you can keep the low of today's session or yesterday's session as a stop loss. And because today it has reclaimed its 50 DM, so I think it can find support at that level. And with the stop loss kept at today's low, we can continue to hold. Next is Hindustan Copper. I think this is also very pretty much similar with the previous stock which we discussed. This stock is also trading below its 50 DMA currently, even though today's gain was good amount of nearly 10%, but still the stock has not reclaimed its 50 DMA. It is continues to trade below its 50 DMA. However, ratings still remain intact, both the fundamentals and technicals, and it is also extended from the pivot. As you can see, it's trading around 50% from the pivot. So there is no major base pattern at this moment. We would like to see the stock form a base pattern from here. Then we can take a decisive call whether to take an investment or not. And I think it's uh, uh, going by the technicals. It is good to exit at this current moment because it is trading below its 50 DMA and also from the highs around 40 point. It has come down. That is more than 13-14% from the high. So we can take that as a selling kind of profit booking kind of sessions, and you can exit at the current moment.
Thanks, Raj. Vakarya. I'll take some queries now.
Sure. Okay.
Rishit, can you give me the chart for Wipro, the Newland Labs? Thank you. So as expected, I mean, in the last few days, I mean, the stock did came under some selling pressure. I mean, still a very large cap stock, but it still came under selling pressure. But if you look at the results for the last couple of quarters, it's not been that good for the stock. I mean, last few quarters, the mid-cap IT stocks have been started doing well, but Wipro is still lagging in terms of the results that needs to be delivered. And similarly, the fund holding interest for the stock is also declining at this moment. The breakout from the previous base, that was a cup base, was very successful, as you can see, and still the stock is trading 16% above pivot. The only good part is that if someone is holding, can continue to hold, as you saw that the stock is holding around its 50 DMA. Even yesterday, during yesterday's call as well, the stock was able to hold around its 50 DMA. Even today's session, the stock rebounded from there. The only thing missing was volumes. Generally, when good rebounds happen, they rebound uh, from 50 DMA on above average volumes. That was missing. But if someone is holding on to the stock, can keep the 50 DMA as an exit point at this moment. If 50 DMA gets breached on above average volumes, or if 50 DMA gets breached and the stock is probably trading consistently below its 50 DMA, one should think about exiting out of the stock. Uh, One, because of overall, I mean, some kind of selling pressure that is happening into the stock, and two, seeing the fundamentals at this moment deteriorating for this stock. The next is Newland Labs. So relatively small cap stock. I mean, more in the mid cap category, greater than 5,000 crores market cap as one see. Uh, Very good story, where very good fundamentals as one see. Last 4 to 5 quarter results, very good for the stock. Similarly, fund holding for the stock was also increasing. And if someone would have bought it at the last breakout, you can see the stock is still, I mean, even after breaching all the key moving averages, still 42% up from pivot. So, I mean, considering our advice, I mean, the stock on did reach its 50 DMA on above average volume. So, considering your risk appetite, if someone was holding on to the stock, should have exited out of the stock. But if your fundamentals suggest and probably you have a deeper risk appetite, I mean, can hold on to the stock. Maybe, I mean, look at the 100 DMA. If probably the stock is finding support near the 5,700 levels at this moment, and probably what my thought process goes is that it's probably holding around its some of its any of its key moving average, either on the weekly front or near the 100 DMA front. So if that probably gets breached out on above average volumes, maybe you should exit out. Or the other way around to look at it is that the stock did breach its 50 DMA on above average volume. If the reclaim does not happen on above average volumes, that means that there can be some kind of selling pressure going forward. So depending upon your risk appetite, you can take your informed decision regarding it.
Okay, I'll take a couple of YouTube queries.
Okay.
One is Hindustan Unilever and another is HAL. So here, as I was discussing about the FMCG sector and at the start of this, webinar, it is the sector is under pressure, and you can see the HUL over here, one of its key stock that is trading under pressure. In the January itself, it had breached its key moving average. I think after the result, this candle was mostly after the result. It was down more than 7% intraday, which is a huge one for stock like Hindustan Unilever with a market cap of more than 5 to 6 lakh crore and a very stable one. And after that, it moved sideways and made a fresh lows couple of times. So yesterday also it moved near to its 2300 level. Today it had a slight rebound, but broadly, if you see, it is trading almost 15% off its high and near its 52 weeks lows. On the weekly chart also, if you see, this one is not given much return. So जो 2020 वाला level है वो भी अभी नहीं आया है. So broadly, Hindustan Unilever has not given a return since long. I think after जो ये रैली हुआ था 2016, 17, 18 वाला, 2020 तक इसने अच्छा रिटर्न दिया कोविड में. ठीक है, बट उसके बाद it is not able to perform well. And I think that's what we always discuss at O'Neill, that don't just marry a stock. Though it is a good quality stock, it might reverse any day. Okay, a couple of good quarter results and this might show some strong momentum, but broadly, if you see that if you are invested since few years in this stock, then you have missed a huge rally. You have a limited capital. रिटेल इन्वेस्टरों के पास, हम लोगों के पास एक लिमिटेड कैपिटल होता है. उसमें अगर आप रैली मिस करते हो, then you are not able to multiply your money. So I think fixed deposit would have earned more than the Hindustan Unilever. But looks like, see, over here it has formed a tight area. So if we see some good result this time or some good commentary from the management, we can see some signs of reversal in this stock, but not an ideal time to hold this or add this to your portfolio. Okay, so this one is interesting one, Hindustan Aeronautics. So one of the big winner of the last couple of years. So if you can see on the weekly chart, I think not just last couple of years, but since the 2020 low that it had made around 300 rupees. From there, it is continuously in the momentum. So these are the type of stocks that needs to be chased whenever it break out. So last time it break out from a stage 1 base on November 7th, and from there it has advanced more around 60-70%. So last couple of sessions, so mostly Wednesday, मंडे को तो इसने नया ऑल टाइम हाई बनाया था 11th मार्च को. Then on Tuesday and Wednesday there was a fall, especially yesterday on the higher volume. But again, see, this is what I was discussing at the start of the webinar. ये अच्छा स्टॉक है तो वो 21 या 50 पे सपोर्ट ले लेंगे. अभी अगर HL का देखो तो इसने फरवरी में भी 50 DMA पे सपोर्ट ले लिया था, कल भी और आज भी 50 DMA पे सपोर्ट लिया, एंड इट हैज रिबाउंडेड फ्रॉम देयर. इट हैज टुडे आल्सो reclaimed its 21 DMA. So if someone is holding the stock, then I think 50 DMA should be kept as a stop loss level. If you are not holding it, fresh entry, then I think you need to wait because it is extended much, 59% from its pivot in just 4 months, 4 to 5 months. So let it form a fresh base over here, and then you might, at the time of breakout, you might go for it. Otherwise, the fundamentals are superb for HAL. Fund holding has increased. And if you look at the growth story, then it is a very good. The defense sector in India, the way it is growing, the government's focus on the defense sector, the Modi's plan to export the defense equipment. So we were always the importer, but now they are planning to export, and they are successful in many of the countries to export our defense equipment. So that's what the sector has a very good tailwind, though extended. But I think if you get a proper technical entry, there's no worry in chasing these kind of quality stocks, which has a very good fundamentals.
Thanks, Rishit. I'll take a few queries now. I'll start with the Angel one. As you can see, this stock has found support at its 200 DMA, a perfect example of support at key moving averages. Yesterday, that level was tested and closed above that level on closing basis, and today it gapped predominantly higher and it closed near the day's high. Volume was also on the higher side, which is a very good price volume. And on the price volume actual trend, it is a very good sign. But still, it is still trading below its some of other key moving averages, such as 21, 50, and 100 DMS. So we would like those moving averages also to be reclaimed by the stock. The ratings still remain intact. EPS has been very good at 94. RS rating has taken some hit because of recent fall in the last 1 or 2 months. But apart from that, it is looking very good. It's better. The stock forms a good base pattern from here, and if it reclaims moving averages by the time it breaks out from the base, it is going to be a very good stock for addition. And overall, in the security space, it is looking very good. I think on the number of demat accounts being opened and the service the company is able to give to the customers, I think there is long way for the company to go forward. So the growth story remains intact for the company, not just the Angel one, but its competitors as well. It's only thing is we need good operational efficiency of the company, because nowadays we have seen lots of brokers getting uh, hit during the live trading session. So that is going to be a major drawback. Lots of tech investments also have to be done so that the efficiency increase. So these are some of the factors the company has to take care. And if the company able to do that, definitely it's going to be a very good growth story going forward. Next is APAR Industries. APAR has has broken out actually from a stage 3 cup with base pattern, and from there it has been oscillating around that level, 6,400 and 500 level, and is not able to uh, reclaim those levels and find momentum which is required to take the stock higher and higher. But it is still consolidating after breaking out. And the moving averages are very close to each other because of long sideways movement the stock has had. 200 EMA still remains far from here. The 50 and 100 EMS are very close to the current market price. But ratings wise, it is looking very good. There is no doubt about it. But the stock is not able to find the momentum or the push which is required to take above that resistance level. Once that level is uh, retaken, then I think there is no major resistance and the stock might move 20-30% from there. And for the stop loss level, I think you can keep 200 EMA is still far from here. So I think that uh, today's low can be kept as a stop loss and you can continue to hold until that level is reached. Next is Pidilite Industries. As you can see here, it is our model portfolio stock. We have recently added it on the breakout which happened on the last week. But after adding, because of the overall uncertainty in the market or overall selling pressure in the media, broader market indices, especially, the stock has also moved sideways. But if you compare the stock's decline with respect to the benchmark indices, definitely a very good resilient stock, one could say. And also the volume of the fall in the last two sessions is not uh, up to the mark. So it is very good sign again, the stock falling on lower volume. Today's session has been very good for us, but volume needs to be picked up. Still, it is trading in the ideal buy range. So if you are looking for a good investment advice to fresh entry, then definitely you can consider this. Ratings remain intact. Only thing is RS is slightly on the lower side, but we are hoping that it will pick up as the stock advances from here. The fundamentals remain intact, and the growth story of the company still remain intact. So that is the reason we are still holding the stock. And for the stop loss level, you can keep 50 DMA as a stop loss and continue to hold until that level is breached.
Thanks, Raj. Vakari, I'll take some queries now.
Sure.
Rushit, can you give me a chart for BSC? BSC, then CDS. So, as we all know, in the past year, BSC had a one-way journey, and during the entire journey, the stock never made any base. So currently, the stock did make a base, a cup base, and after that, there's some selling pressure in the markets, and similarly, even BSC came under some selling pressure. But I mean, can you show me the volumes? Rushit? Yeah. So apart from the last couple of days, I mean, where the markets really turned really bad, really volatile. Apart from that, you can see volumes have not been that bad. I mean, no high volume selling as such. Uh, I mean, the stock was kind of consolidating around all its key moving averages 21 and 50 DMA. If you look at the 2150 and even the 10 EMA, all the three moving averages have kind of clustered around one another. I mean, the growth story for the stock kind of remains pretty much intact. I mean, if you look at it, the last 4 to 5 quarter results for the stock have been very good. There's a prior uptrend on heavy volumes as well. If you look at fund holding for the stock, the fund holding for the stock is increasing in very high double digits, which is a very good sign. Overall, EPS ratings, price trend, buyer demand for the stock is very good. So the entire, I mean, the crux of the BSE story lies around the Indian equity markets, and Indian equity markets have been moving very well. Have been one of the best performers in terms of emerging markets with comparative to its peers across the globe. So the momentum is definitely there with the Indian markets. It's just that currently with the selling pressure that is happening in the broader market at this moment, the stock has come under pressure. Going forward, if the key moving averages such as 21 and the 50 DMA gets reclaimed on above average volumes, then it definitely can be a good stock to watch out for. for even if you go by a little bit more conservative investing in terms of very traditional one, then the pivot is still 21% from here. Wait for the stock to probably come back to its pivot. Wait for the stock to re-break out. Once the stock re-break out, and look at the volumes then. If accumulation is there and RS line starts to move higher, that is most check boxes that we talk about at William O'Neill. If that starts to happen again and markets remain supportive, I mean, the growth story is definitely there with this stock. It's just the price volume action that needs to come back for the stock. The next one is CDSL. So one more story related to uh, the Indian equity markets in terms of an very similar or probably even the stock had a very good run up in 2023 with the markets, and that's what has happened as well. One of the depository services in India, but as you see, as the markets came under pressure, broader markets in the last couple of days, even this stock came in, and after forming a double bottom base, now the stock is under some kind of pressure. The good part is that apart from yesterday's session, not much of volume pressure at this moment. Ratings have also not deteriorated very much. It's just that, again, the similar advice that we provided with BSC, the pivot for the stock is very close. So wait for the stock probably to re-break out for a fresh entry. That is what we'll suggest at this moment. If that happens, definitely can keep this stock in your buy watch list. Someone who's probably holding this stock, I mean, should have ideally exited out of the stock when probably 7 to 8% stop loss would have happened. That is the only standard stop loss, or 50 DMA got breached on above average volumes. So that's what you would have suggested. The next stock that we can look at it is basically Zentech. Give me Zentech. So currently, like forming a cup base or a white saucer kind of base at this moment, and the breakout wasn't that successful for the stock, but the stock found support at its 50 DME, and even volumes kind of better at this moment. 4 to 5 quarter results for the stock have been very good. Fund holding for the stock have been increasing. ROE at 15% is still very good for the stock. So what we probably suggest is that was the stage count, Rushi? Stage count 2 is also very good. I mean, not that bad. I mean, it's a wide base at this moment, and there the only thing I'm hearing is there is some kind of ASM surveillance in this one. And that is what my fear is. And so, I mean, someone who probably held onto the stock can continue to hold till the point in time 50 DMA gets breached. I mean, the stock did find support at 50 DMA. Fresh entry into the stock at this moment is not advised, and because of the levels that is there at this moment, probably wait for the stock to come back to its pivot, reclaim its pivot. At that moment, if other parameters are probably going ahead with the stock in terms of the uh, uh, in terms of all the ratings, fund holdings, and even the market support, then can definitely have a look at this stock.
Okay, so there are a few questions related to metal stocks, JSW, Tata, SAIL. I will take it quickly, all of them. So JSW Steel has breached its 200 DMA. Even in today's session, it was not able to close in the green, and there was no signs of reversal here. Though it made a reverse from its low, so today it made a low of around 760, and the closing was near the day's high. So this is something positive. So let's see. I think if today's low becomes very crucial to hold. If you are already holding the stock, then I think breach of 50 and 200 DMA was enough evidence to book profit or cut losses. But if you are still holding, then I think yes, today's low becomes crucial. On the flip side, taking fresh position over here, not suggested below all the key moving averages. I think wait for it to complete this base formation, the flat base it is forming. And once you see that next quarter, if there is improvement in the result realization, इनका कितना improve होता है, margins expand होते हैं, if there is some positive momentum, the demand and as well as the realization front, that's the time I think you need to take the fresh entry. Tata Steel, again, this is a good one, but was falling sharply for last 4 sessions. Today, it was similar to the JSW steel. It went lower but found support near the day's low and rebounded from there. But the only good part over here compared to JSW and Tata Steel charges that the Tata Steel is rebounded from its 50 DMA. It is still holding the 50 DMA level, and it is going strong over there. If you can see on the last few instances also, once in January, then in February, it tested its 50 DMA, but again it rebounded from there. And that's what has happened today. So let's see if it can hold today's low and 50 DMA. अगर वो करता है और 21 के ऊपर निकलता है, then that you can buy some fresh on the rebound from 50 DMA वाला formula लगा के we can consider a good technical indicator. But if the volume is low while the rebound 21 DML MA पे low है, then that's not a good idea. The other one is sale. It was good momentum over here today, but so yesterday the fall was really sharp. 50 DMA तोड़ दिया. आज momentum था stock में, but it was not able to move above its 50 DMA. It was struggling around the similar वो 120 level के आजू बाजू थोड़ा oscillate हो रहा था. So here also I think reclaiming the 50 DMA becomes crucial because couple of things if you observe over here that ये वाला जो accumulation था ये वाला accumulation and अभी ये 2 दिन जब वो बढ़ा था all were on a very good volume. So there is some good institutional accumulation. This what it indicates. ये पूरे zone में एक इंस्टीट्यूशनल एक्यूमुलेशन अच्छा है इसका इंडिकेशन है बट अगेन लेट्स सी इफ इट कैन रिबाउंड वेल 50 और 21 डीएमए इसी तरह हायर वॉल्यूम पे अगर ये ले लेता है then that will be positive for the stock. Otherwise you need to be careful if you're holding the stock, then below 50 dma not a good idea to continue to hold. Fresh buy if it rebounds from 21 and 50 dma on a high volume, then only then. There's also JSW Energy that was asked. Here also a good story. It breached its 50 DMA yesterday. Today it tried to move higher, but again found resistance just below its 50 DMA. So let's see if this can reclaim that level or not. If you're holding the stock, then I think today's low. Ideally 50 DMA can reach not a good idea, but today's low is crucial. On the flip side, if it reclaims 50 DMA on higher volume, then that will be positive. So power sector as a whole is in a very good momentum. The way the government is spending on the infra, जो infra growth की बात हो रही है, जो power का consumption बढ़ रहा है, especially summers are coming now. So overall broadly जो power consumption है, government की जो schemes है, for the renewable sources of energy and the government plan to expand the non-renewables. So दोनों साइड से काफी एक एज अ सेक्टर एज अ होल एडवांटेज मिल रहा है. लिक्विडिटी भी काफी अच्छी है अभी सेक्टर में. सो it's in a very good spot. The demand as well as the government focus on this sector is really good. As if India wants to grow, I think the way the ambitions are, then the power is one of the key source for all. So it's in a very good sector, but let's see. Technicals are also equally important.
Thanks, Yusuf. I'll take a few queries now. I'll start with Reliance Industries. Reliance Industries, as you know, all know, aware of the fact that highest market cap is in terms of market capitalization, it is the highest company, and you can see coming to the base pattern, the recent base pattern, it has broken out and from there it has advanced nearly 20%. And there is some slight profit booking, as you can see in the express session, and it is trading very near to its 50 DMA. So that 50 DMA is going to be a very crucial level going forward. If that level is reached, it's better to exit. Until then, you can continue to hold it. And fresh entry is not advised. There is no proper ideal buy point at this moment. So we can wait for the stock to form a consolidation or any other case pattern. So and you can start accumulating when it takes out. And also being a large market cap company, so for a market cap of this size, stock moving 20-30% is very rare, you can say, but it is. I'm not saying that he's not going to advance 20-30%, but the probability of a stock of this market cap advancing 20-30% is slightly on the lower side when we compare to other smaller market cap companies. But as India grows, companies like these will definitely benefit because of the broad businesses that they are doing. So definitely, on the long-term story, it is going to be a very good contender. But if you are looking for small periods and 2 to 3 months of period, then you can move for other stocks which can give more returns in terms of time period. Then I will move on to Siemens. Siemens is also a recent breakout stock, and from there it is trading nearly more than 10% from the pivot. Uh, and 21 DMA is very crucial for the stock. You can see green line has been acting as a very good support, and today's session has also acted as a good support at this 21 DMA. And going forward, also 21 DMA is going to be crucial, and if that level is breached on higher volume, you can consider exiting, and otherwise you can continue to hold it. And fresh entry is not advised at this moment. There is no proper buy point.
Thanks, Raj. I'll take couple of more queries before time permits us.
Sure, sure.
So, yeah. I'll take some wire companies now. KEI and Polycab. So the stock was forming a consolidation base, and as you can see, the stock was trying to break out, but was an unsuccessful breakout as the stock was not able to move higher from the pivot. And after that, the selling pressure came in, and currently the stock is trading well below its pivot and well below the 50-day moving average as well. On the result front, the stock has been delivering good set of results for the last 5-6 quarter results. If one looks at it, even fund holding for the stock continues to remain intact. At this moment, new entry into the stock is definitely not advisable considering last breakout not being successful. So again, what we'll probably advise is wait for a re-breakout in this stock if one wants to have a position into the stock. Wait for the RS line to move higher because the selling pressure that the last few days have created, RS line for the stock has nosedived, and that has been a problem. And going forward, let the RS line move higher. If that moves higher along with good accumulation, because 10%, the stock is trading 10% below pivot. Today's movement was kind of encouraging. The stock moved higher by around 3% on slightly above average volumes. Volume should have been a little bit higher if had to be a little more encouraging. But going forward, look for two levels, 21 and 50 DMA, and how the stock behaves around them. So around those levels, if the stock is able to reclaim them on above average volumes, then the chances that this re-breakout becomes successful becomes even more better. We look at its peer, Polycab now. Uh, so at this moment, the base that this stock is forming is looking very uh, wide and very loose at this moment in terms of it had a very big gap down. And with that big gap down, there was uh, uh, major signs of distribution on the left hand side of the stock, so which is not advisable. And on the right hand side, there has not been any major sign of accumulation at this moment, because of some news that came in for the stock post the result of the stock. In terms of result, the stock has been delivering a very stellar set of numbers. Fund holding have been intact, but regarding some regulatory stuff, the stock was really on the negative front, and that is why you can see some selling pressure happening in the stock. Till the point in time, the stock does not probably recover from there, and there is no good sign of accumulation coming in. I would probably advise, to stay away from the stock, as there are other better stocks that are probably breaking out on probably on the slightly larger cap front, and which are kind of doing well.
Thanks, Vaka. There is a comment from Rishit Shah that if you share the distribution day data, surely we do discuss about the distribution days, but from now on we can do that. We'll be sharing the data of the days that are expiring. So tomorrow we have one distribution day expiring after the market, like when the market opens. So the distribution day count will be down to 2 as of tomorrow. But yeah, we'll take this into consideration and calculate the distribution day. I will take two, three quick queries, and then we can close the session. There are few YouTube queries. Aegis Logistics. Here, it found a good support at 200 DMA. If holding 200 DMA becomes crucial. On the flip side, if you want to have a fresh buy, then I think rebound from here and reclaiming this 400 level, which was the pivot, is very crucial for the stock, because if it reclaims pivot, then it will also be above its 50 DMA level. The other one we can take is Rane Madras. Relatively smaller stock, so pressure in the small cap index, need to be careful over here. It's trading below all the key moving averages, so it's ideal to book profit, cut losses, and wait for the fresh entry. So if you can look at Inox India, a good reclaim of 21 DMA today. So broadly, it's a fresh stock listed, and after a very good run, it had a IPO base breakout, and after a very good run, and it reached more than 1300. There was some pullback, and now it has started to move above its 21 DML level. So it becomes crucial from here to move higher. For stop loss, you can use today's low, because the reversal was really sharp in today's session. We can take Ethos. The performance of the luxury watches has been really good. You can see the results that it has delivered in the last few quarters, the number of funds that has increased the position. Today, yesterday and today, both the 50 DMA acted as a good support. So it is much extended from its base. So it had broken out from the stage flat base, stage 3C in October. And from there, it gave almost 50% return in 4 to 5 months, but now it is struggling, around its 50 DMA. So let's see if it can rebound from here, or it can, it falls further from 50 DMA. If it falls from here, it's good time to book profit or cut losses. So ये जो March 11 वाला रिवर्सल था, that was not an ideal one. Generally, एक नया हाई बनने के बाद हाई वॉल्यूम पे अगर रिवर्सल आता है, then this is considered as a reversal candle. So need to be careful over here. And there is a YouTube query on Kayans Technology. बहुत ट्राई किया इसने ब्रेकआउट करने का, आई थिंक कपल ऑफ टाइम्स. फर्स्टली इन दिसंबर इट कंप्लीटेड इट कप बेस पैटर्न एंड इट ट्राई टू ब्रेकआउट बट फेल. फिर अगेन इसने जनवरी फरवरी में कप विथ हैंडल पैटर्न बनाया, एंड हियर आल्सो इट डिड ब्रेकआउट, बट थोड़ा ऊपर जाके it again failed. Now it is trading below its 50-day moving average, and the volume in the selling in the last 3-4 session has also been higher. So if you have this position, you need to be very careful because it is already below 50 DMA. A fresh position not advised as of now. Okay, last query. Two queries. One is Castrol and second is Advanced Enzyme, and then we close the session. So Castrol India, good rebound from 50 DMA today. The volume was not that high, but even yesterday's selling volume was below average. But if you see last few months, the accumulation has been good. And if you are holding, then you can continue to hold, keeping today's low or 50 DMA as a stop loss. On the flip side, it is extended from its pivot, so fresh entry not suggested over here. बाकी ब्रॉडली इसका फंडामेंटल्स काफी अच्छा है. फंड होल्डिंग का इंटरेस्ट अभी थोड़ा म्यूटेड है स्टॉक में, बट लेट्स सी इफ इट कैन how this quarter result is delivered. The last one, advanced enzyme, and then we close the session. Over here, the fall was sharp. I think since February second half only, there was a huge fall in the stock. It is almost 15%, 15 to 17% from its recent high of around 425. Here, the stock is struggling to reclaim its key moving averages 50 and 21 DMA again, but looks like it has good support very close to its 200 DMA. Last time भी वही हुआ था, 200 DMA का से rebound हुआ था October 26 को, and then it had a good rally. So let's see what happens now. Broadly कल का अगर वॉल्यूम देखें, लाइक मोस्टली परसों का, ट्यूसडे का, तो बहुत हाई वॉल्यूम पे गिरा था. बाकी ब्रॉडली कोई इतना वॉल्यूम नहीं है गिरने में. Accumulation एक decent सा रहा है लास्ट 2-3 महीने में. So if you are holding the stock, keep 200 DMS as stop loss. If you want a fresh entry, then wait for 50 or 21 DMA to reclaim. बाकी fund holding is really good in this stock. The recent few quarters earnings have also been good one. So that's it for today's session. Thank you for joining. I hope it was useful to you guys and you got some perspective about few of the stocks and how about the market direction as well. Thank you very much for joining the session.